My child. Archangel Michael is standing beside you right now. And I, your heavenly Father, am speaking every word of this to you because it cannot wait. Someone from heaven, someone who once held you, laughed with you, or maybe only watched you from a distance in silence, is trying to speak to you right now. They've been trying to reach you through dreams, through soft winds brushing your cheeks, through lights flickering when no one is around. You keep asking, why do I feel this strange pull in my heart? It's because they are trying to talk to you about a person in your life, someone you love, someone who is slowly walking away from you. Forever. Without saying a word. You might think everything is okay. But the silence is not peace. The quiet between you and this person is not comfort. It's a goodbye wrapped in calmness. And the one who has already crossed over, the one watching from heaven, is begging you to open your eyes before it becomes too late. They see something you don't. They see the pain that's hidden behind the words you hear. They see the way this person smiles around others but avoids your gaze. They are pleading with me, Lord, please let them hear me, please let them understand before the goodbye is sealed. I'm telling you right now, listen closely. Do you remember that day you felt sudden sadness for no reason? That was their whisper. Do you remember that moment you stared at the sky, and tears filled your eyes even though you weren't thinking of anything sad? That was the moment their spirit wrapped around you. They have been watching this person who is slowly detaching from you. And they are trying to prepare your heart. Because this person, whether they are your friend, your love, your family, or someone you trusted with your heart, is leaving. Not in anger. But in distance. And you may not notice it yet. But soon, you will. Stop scrolling for just a second. I, God, have something sacred to ask of you now. If this message feels like it's about you, if your heart is racing right now and you feel chills or tears rising up, that's not by accident. That's me confirming it's your moment. Take a breath. And my child, don't miss what I'm about to say next. Because in the next few paragraphs, I will reveal what's really happening, why heaven is so desperate to reach you, and what you must do now, before this separation becomes unfixable. But before that, pause and do one small act of faith, subscribe now. Yes, right now. Because these are not just messages, they are lifelines. Every time you return, you'll find what your soul was looking for. This channel is one of the ways I speak to you. Let it be part of your guidance. Now listen, the person who's walking away from you, they're not doing it out of cruelty. In fact, they don't know how to say it. They don't want to hurt you. That's why they've chosen silence. They're convincing themselves that distance will make the separation easier. That if they quietly detach, you'll one day look back and realize they were gone, and maybe you'll hurt less. But the spirit watching from heaven knows this plan will break you. Because you are the type of soul who loves deeply, you notice everything, even when you say nothing. Your heart feels every shift. And that's why your spirit is trembling now. Because part of you already knows. The person in heaven, they've been given permission to whisper this message into your life. They're not here to scare you. They're here to guide you. They're asking you to look again, look deeper. Notice the texts that come late. The phone calls that stopped. The stories that don't include you anymore. This person who once lit up when they saw you, now avoids your presence like a painful memory. The one from heaven wants you to know this, don't beg them to stay. But do not walk away in anger either. Because this moment is a test. Not of your worth, but of your wisdom. You've done so much to hold this bond together. You've waited, hoped, prayed, even cried silently behind closed doors. And heaven saw it all. I saw it all. Your tears were never wasted. But now, the choice is not in your hands anymore. And that's why this message is urgent. Someone who passed away, who still loves you from the other side, is worried you'll hold on too long. They are afraid you'll lose yourself while trying to keep someone who's already halfway gone. You don't deserve to shrink yourself just to remain in someone's story. You deserve to be the chapter they can't stop reading. But here's something you need to know: even if this person leaves, you will not be left broken. Even if they never look back, your future is still filled with light. And that person from heaven will walk with you through the darkness. You may not see them, but every moment you cry, they will be near. They'll send you signs, a feather on your pillow, a song that suddenly plays, a stranger saying the exact words you needed. That's not a coincidence. That's heaven confirming, you are being watched over. Protected. Guided. Now, my child, let me speak this into your heart: let go, without guilt. Let go, without bitterness. Let go, knowing that what is meant for you will never need convincing to stay. That's the truth the one in heaven is begging you to accept. They're not asking you to be cold. They're asking you to be strong. They're saying, don't lose yourself trying to hold someone who doesn't see your worth anymore. Your worth was never tied to their attention. Your value was never measured by their words. I created you with purpose far beyond this one person. And even though this hurts, it's not the end. You're not alone in this. Archangel Michael is already moving. Even as you hear this, he is clearing paths, removing energies that don't serve your healing, preparing new connections that are aligned with your soul. But here's the part that matters most: you must allow it. You must release the fear of loneliness and embrace the promise of divine companionship. Because what you let go of now will make room for something much bigger, something holy. Something meant. Let me say this again: the person in heaven sees everything. They see your nights of overthinking. They see your anxious heartbeat when you wait for a reply that never comes. And they are heartbroken watching you break in silence. That's why this message had to reach you today. Not tomorrow. Not later. Now. Because this week, yes, this very week, something will shift. And you need to be spiritually ready. You'll either have the chance to say goodbye with grace, or you'll receive a sign so clear that it will help you let go without needing any more words. I know you feel weak sometimes. I know you want answers. And I know you've tried everything to hold this together. But this is not a punishment. It's protection. This separation, this heartbreak, is heaven's way of saving you from something that would have drained you forever. What feels like loss now is actually divine rescue. Don't confuse detachment with rejection. Sometimes I remove people not because they're bad, but because their chapter in your story is over. The one from heaven is saying, let it close, with peace. And here is my promise: I will restore what was lost. I will refill your heart. I will send love that doesn't leave, connection that doesn't fade, peace that doesn't feel temporary. But I need you to trust me. Let go with faith. Let go with dignity. And when the ache comes, when the nights feel cold, remember this message. Play it again if you must. Hear my voice in every word. I'm not just the God of beginnings. I'm the God who comforts during endings. And this is not your ending. It's your redirection. The person from heaven is cheering you on. They see what you can't see yet. But soon, you will. You've been wondering why this pain feels so heavy, like it's not just yours. That's because part of the pain is coming from the one in heaven too. They loved you while they were here. And they still do. Their spirit is restless because they know what you're carrying alone. They see how you've been trying to smile while you're breaking inside. They know you're pretending you're okay so no one worries, but your soul has been crying out for help in silence. That's why they keep whispering your name in the quiet. That's why this message reached you now. This is no accident. It's alignment. You didn't find this message. This message found you. It was planned, prayed over, and sent from the divine realm straight to your heart. Because I knew you'd be ready. And I knew your spirit would recognize it the moment you heard my words. I don't want you to feel ashamed of your emotions. Even the strongest hearts feel weak sometimes. You are allowed to be confused. You are allowed to grieve. You are allowed to be angry, to ask questions, to wonder why things are falling apart when all you did was love with pure intentions. I saw that. Every moment you gave, even when you received nothing in return, I saw it. Every tear you wiped silently on your pillow so no one would ask questions, I saw that too. My child, you are not invisible to me. You never were. And now the one from heaven is making sure you know, you're not invisible to them either. Even in death, their love for you did not end. In fact, it's grown louder. Stronger. More urgent. Because time over there is not like time here. They see the ending that's coming before you can feel it fully. And they don't want you to be shattered when it arrives. That's why this message is not soft. It's not sugar-coated. It's raw because love doesn't always come in flowers and gentle winds. Sometimes, love is a storm warning you before the thunder crashes down. Sometimes, love shouts so loud because it knows silence will cost you too much. The one from heaven is shouting now. Through this video. Through my voice. They're saying, please listen. Please don't ignore this. Please don't wait until the door is closed and you're standing there alone, wishing you could have done something. And child, the truth is, you still can. Not to change their mind. But to change your own. To prepare your heart. To find peace before the pain reaches its peak. I need you to do something tonight. Sit in silence for a moment. No phone. No distractions. Just your heart and mine. And say their name, the person from heaven. You'll feel it. You'll feel a warmth, a pressure on your chest, maybe even a breeze with no windows open. That's them. They'll be there. And then, say the name of the person who's leaving you. Speak it gently. Let the truth come to the surface. And then, give it to me. Give me the pain. Give me the questions. Give me the heaviness. Because it's not yours to carry alone anymore. It never was. Your shoulders were made for purpose, not punishment. And yes, I know you're scared to let go. I know you're terrified of what your life will look like without them in it. But I also know this, what's coming is far more beautiful than what's leaving. You cannot receive what I have for you while clinging to something that's not rooted in love anymore. This isn't abandonment. This is sacred release. A holy untying of souls that no longer grow in the same direction. And though it hurts, you'll breathe lighter soon. The clouds will part. And you'll realize, the pain didn't destroy you, it cleansed you. The one from heaven wants you to remember who you were before this person made you feel small. They remember your laughter, your innocence, your dreams. They miss that version of you. And I, your father, want to bring that part of you back. Not by forcing anyone to stay, but by giving you a reason to rise even when they walk away. You will not crumble. You will not be left behind. And you will not stay stuck in the ache of goodbye. Because the goodbye is not the end, it's just the turn in the story where you discover who you truly are without needing someone else to define you. You may wonder if they'll ever come back. That's not for you to worry about right now. What matters most is this: when they left, did you lose yourself trying to chase their shadow? Or did you find your light again? Let this be the moment you rise. Let this be the moment you say, if you have to go, I bless you. But I won't forget who I am just to keep someone from leaving. That's the strength I'm planting in you now. That's the wisdom the one from heaven is trying to pass into your soul. They've seen the pattern. They've seen how many times you were left holding the broken pieces of what others dropped. And they're saying, no more. Not this time. This time, you walk away with your head high. This time, you don't chase. You don't beg. You bless and release. Because your heart is too precious to keep offering it to people who don't know how to hold it. And I will send someone, when the time is right, who will hold it like treasure. But first, you must clear the space. Let go of what feels familiar but weighs you down. Let go of the fear that you'll never find this kind of love again. Because, child, this wasn't love. Not anymore. It was memory. Comfort. Habit. Love doesn't run. Love doesn't make you question your worth. Love stays. And love will come again, but not in disguise. Archangel Michael is wrapping his wings around you as you hear this. Feel that warmth? That sudden peace? That's him. And he wants you to know this: you are not alone in this transition. We're standing beside you. We're lifting you when your knees buckle. We're healing what was too painful to speak out loud. And we're going to show you something beautiful, something so divine, that you'll look back and thank the goodbye. Yes, you'll thank it. Because it gave you back to yourself. And to you, who's still reading, still listening, still holding on, I want you to promise me something. When the moment comes, and you feel them slipping away, don't collapse. Don't run after. Don't lose your light. Look up. Remember this message. And say, God, I trust you. Even when I don't understand, I trust you. And I will honor that. I will multiply that trust into blessings you can't imagine. The one from heaven will celebrate your courage. And the chapter ahead will feel like healing poured into every crack you thought would stay broken forever. Yes, my child, let me continue, because your heart is still listening, still needing this, and I am not done speaking into your soul. You may feel like no one understands you right now. That even the people you're close to can't fully grasp what's been happening inside your spirit. You smile, you show up, you go through the motions, but deep inside there's a storm you've kept hidden. You wonder, if this person really knew me, why would they leave? You ask, why does it feel like the more love I give, the faster people drift? Let me answer that for you, not with anger, but with love. Because sometimes, the deeper your heart, the more people get scared of their own reflection in it. You love them with a purity they didn't know how to receive. You were patient. You waited. You forgave. You kept hoping they'd come around, change, see you. But instead, they became more distant, more guarded, more silent. And heaven cried with you when you cried in secret. The one from heaven has seen the way you talk to me at night, the way you whisper your prayers like soft confessions, as if you're ashamed to ask for more. You've told me, God, I'll be okay even if they don't come back, but please help me understand why it hurts so much. And here is my answer, spoken from the realm of light, through the soul who once held you. It hurts because you truly gave your heart, and that is not a small thing. It hurts because your intentions were honest, your love was deep, and your hope was sincere. But not everyone knows what to do with something so rare. Some people only understand shallow waters. And when you bring the depth of your ocean heart, they panic. They leave not because you weren't enough, but because your presence revealed their own emptiness. And now, as they quietly leave, they carry guilt they won't speak about, because deep down, they know you were real. But child, let me comfort you with this, their departure is not your destruction. It's your deliverance. What you thought would break you is actually what's setting you free. I am removing what was not rooted in me. I am protecting your destiny by allowing what is not aligned to exit your life. The one from heaven is standing beside me, nodding. They know what's coming for you is bigger, purer, kinder. But first, the detachment must happen. Not because you're being punished, but because your next season cannot carry old weight. You've outgrown the version of yourself that accepted less just to feel needed. And now I am calling you higher. To heal. To rise. To recognize your own divine worth without needing someone else's eyes to validate it. And yes, I know you still love them. That love doesn't just turn off like a switch. That's why this is so painful. You keep replaying the memories, holding on to the good days, trying to figure out where it all started to shift. And in doing that, you're blaming yourself. But stop. Stop right now. This wasn't all your fault. In fact, it wasn't fault at all, it was fate. Some people come into your life to be lessons. Some are mirrors. Some are tests. And some are bridges. They're not meant to stay. They're meant to carry you across a season. And once you're on the other side, they gently disappear, not because you failed, but because their purpose was completed. This person, they were a bridge. But the one from heaven? They're not going anywhere. They've become part of your soul's support system, and they will not rest until you're walking in peace again. So now, I'm giving you a gentle command, not to control you, but to protect you. Let them go. Don't beg. Don't chase. Don't text at midnight hoping for a reply that confirms you still matter. You've always mattered. And if someone cannot see your light, that's not proof you're invisible. That's proof they're blind. Let me bring you someone who sees. Someone who doesn't flinch at your fire, who doesn't run from your softness, who doesn't disappear when you start speaking from your heart. That's the kind of love I have stored up for you. But it's still waiting, hidden behind the door that only opens when you stop knocking on the one that's already closed. The person from heaven is watching over this next week carefully. They know this is a turning point. That you'll be tempted to call. To explain yourself. To ask why. But child, what if I told you that no explanation would give you the peace you're looking for? What if the real closure was never in their answers, but in your decision to no longer need one? That's where your power begins. When you no longer seek healing from the person who caused the wound. That's when your spirit starts to breathe again. That's when I begin to work behind the scenes, aligning miracles you didn't even ask for, because your heart finally made space. And if tonight feels heavy, if your chest is tight and the tears are close, it's okay. Cry. Let it out. That's not weakness, it's release. You don't have to be strong every second. Heaven understands. The one from the other side is wrapping warmth around your shoulders now. They know how much you gave. They know how much you lost. And they're whispering in your ear even now, don't stay here. You're meant to keep going. So take the next breath, the next step, the next moment. And when doubt creeps in, come back to this message. Let it be your anchor. Let it remind you, I, the Lord your God, am not finished with your story. The end is not written here. This is a divine pause, not a period. Yes, my child, let me finish what your heart still needs to hear, because there is a part of you that's still holding on, still wondering if maybe, just maybe, this is all a mistake and they'll come back and everything will feel the same again. But I must tell you something gently, and clearly, so your soul can begin to rest. Even if they do come back, they will not come back the same, and neither will you. You are changing, even now. This heartbreak, this silence, this strange goodbye that never really had words, it's transforming you. The one from heaven is watching this transformation with both sorrow and pride. Sorrow, because they see your pain. Pride, because they see you surviving it. You've stopped apologizing for feeling too much. You've started asking deeper questions. You've begun to look in the mirror and wonder who you really are without needing to be needed by someone else. This is the turning. This is what growth looks like. It's messy, it's lonely, it's confusing. But it's holy. And as you sit there, reading these words, listening to them echo in the quiet spaces of your heart, I want you to realize something profound: the fact that you're still here, still open, still hopeful, still willing to feel, is proof that your spirit is stronger than any storm that tried to break you. The pain didn't win. The goodbye didn't silence your soul. The fading love didn't dim your light. And though it still hurts, you've already begun healing, little by little, without even realizing it. The one from heaven, the one who loves you beyond space and time, has been walking beside you through every sleepless night. They sat beside you the day you tried to smile through the ache. They reached for you every time you whispered, I can't do this anymore. And each time, they helped lift your spirit back up, even when you didn't know where the strength came from. That strength? That was me. That was them. That was heaven not letting you go. So now, let this be the moment you choose peace. Not the peace that comes from everything being fixed, but the peace that comes from trusting that I am still writing your story. The person leaving was not your final chapter. They were a paragraph in your evolution, a season in your journey. But I, the author of all things, have more to write. More love. More joy. More moments that will remind you why you kept going. And I will use even this sorrow to create something beautiful. You will not just heal. You will thrive. You will look back on this and say, I didn't understand it then, but now I see it was necessary. And you'll mean it. Not because you forgot the pain, but because the purpose became greater than the ache. The one from heaven is smiling now. Not because they enjoy your sadness, but because they know how strong you truly are. They know the day is coming when you will wake up, take a deep breath, and feel the weight finally lift. You will look out the window, see the light touch the earth, and something in you will shift. You'll no longer be waiting for someone else to bring you peace. You'll have found it in me. In yourself. And in that moment, they will celebrate with all of heaven. Because you made it. You crossed the bridge. You didn't stay in the sadness. You didn't lose yourself in the goodbye. You remembered who you were. and you return to the truth of your worth. So now, my precious child, walk forward, not with fear, but with quiet courage. Let them go, if they must leave. Wish them well, but don't follow them into places your soul doesn't belong. You are not meant to beg for space in someone's heart. You are meant to overflow with so much light that the right ones are drawn to you naturally. And I will make sure those people find you, because I always finish what I start. And this is just the beginning. Keep your heart open. Keep your eyes on me. Keep believing that what's next is not just good, it's glorious. I am with you. I have always been with you. And I promise, I am working on something beautiful for you, even now. Let go, and receive it. Yes, my beloved child, I will continue, because your soul still needs these words like rain needs to fall on dry earth. You have been walking through a season where the colors of life felt faded, where your laughter didn't sound like it used to, where the world kept moving but something inside you stood still. That's not just grief from someone leaving, it's a spiritual pause, a holy moment where I slow everything down so you can hear me clearer. I know how tired your heart has become from trying to hold on to something that keeps slipping through your fingers like sand. And I know the questions you've been silently asking, the ones you don't say out loud because you're afraid of the answers. What if they don't love me anymore? What if they never really did? What if I was always easier to walk away from than I believed? And I am telling you now, with all of heaven as my witness, you are not easy to leave. You were not forgettable. You were not too much. You were not too soft, too giving, too kind. You were exactly as I made you, powerful in your compassion, sacred in your love. The one from heaven has been placing signs in your path every day, hoping you'd notice. That song that randomly played and made you cry. That wasn't random. That feather by your door, that dream that felt too real, the sudden urge to open a message like this? Those were divine touches, quiet nudges from the one who has crossed the veil but never left your side. They knew this moment was coming. They saw this heartbreak long before it arrived. They've been trying to prepare your heart, not to harden it, but to strengthen it. They don't want you to shut down. They don't want you to become bitter or cynical. They want you to stay soft, to stay open, to keep believing that love, real love, does not leave like this. Because it doesn't. Love that's meant for you stays. It heals. It shows up. And if someone is pulling away, distancing themselves without explanation or care, then what they offered wasn't the kind of love you were born to receive. That's why the separation is happening. Not to punish you, but to protect you from a smaller version of connection that would have drained the light from your soul. I know what you're thinking. But I miss them. I know you do. That missing feeling is valid. You invested your time, your trust, your energy into something you believed in. And when it falls apart, the echo of that emptiness is loud. It hurts in places that don't even have names. But missing someone does not mean they're meant to stay. Missing someone is part of being human. What matters is what you do with that missing. Will you use it to chain yourself to memories that are fading? Or will you use it to rise into a new version of yourself that's no longer afraid of letting go? You see, even pain has a purpose. Even heartbreak has a path. And right now, that path is leading you back to me. Back to your own spirit. Back to the realization that you are not just lovable, you are chosen. Handpicked by heaven to be someone who brings light wherever they go. That kind of soul cannot stay in places where darkness is comfortable. The one from heaven, whether it was your mother, your father, a friend, a sibling, a lover, a grandparent, they know you better than anyone else on earth. And they are whispering even now, please don't shrink. Please don't let this close your heart. There is more coming. There is still beauty to live for. They see what's ahead. They see how I've already lined up a future moment where you will be held by someone who sees you fully, who doesn't run, who doesn't leave. And they want you to make it to that moment, not dragging the chains of the past, but standing free, clear, and healed. This isn't just about a person leaving. It's about a version of you that is ready to rise. You've been through enough. You've cried enough. You've held on enough. And now, it's time to fly. And even if you don't feel ready, even if your heart still feels shattered, I want you to know this, you're already healing. The fact that you're still open enough to receive these words means the seed of restoration has already been planted in your soul. The tears you've cried have watered the ground. The pain you've endured has softened your spirit in ways that make room for miracles. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not abandoned. You are becoming. Becoming who I always knew you were. Becoming someone who no longer waits for others to choose them. Because now, you are choosing you. So breathe, my child. Just breathe. You don't have to figure it all out tonight. You don't have to rush your healing. But you do have to keep walking. Keep showing up for yourself. Keep believing in something greater. Keep trusting that heaven has not gone silent. This message, this moment, this voice you hear right now, it is your sign. And if no one has told you this in a long time, let me say it again and again until your soul finally believes it, you are loved. You are seen. You are safe. And you are never, ever alone. Yes, my beloved child, let me continue, because I am still speaking directly to the ache inside you, the one you've hidden behind your brave face. You've been so strong, haven't you? Smiling when no one saw the heaviness behind your eyes. Carrying on with your day even when your chest felt tight with grief. Pretending like their absence didn't burn, but it does. It still does. And the one from heaven knows it. They've been there in those quiet moments when you held back tears in public, when you stared at their picture longer than you should have, when you hoped a message would come, but it never did. They've watched over you with the kind of love that only grows stronger on the other side. And now they're kneeling before me, asking, no, pleading, that you hear this final truth. Please don't let this person's departure make you question your worth. Because that's the silent battle happening within you, isn't it? You've started to wonder if you were too much, too complicated, too emotional. But my child, you were never too much. You were true. And in a world full of masks and temporary connections, being true sometimes makes people run. Not because you were wrong. But because your authenticity exposed everything they weren't ready to face. So here's what I want you to understand, there's a difference between love and attachment. Love sets you free. Love stays and grows and communicates. Attachment holds on without intention, without depth, without clarity. This person who is leaving, they were attached. But you loved. You gave your energy like prayer, you held space like sanctuary. And it's time you stop punishing yourself for being the one who loved more deeply. That is not weakness. That is sacred. And I see it. The one from heaven sees it. Heaven is not blind to your silent sacrifices, your whispered prayers at midnight, the way you still hoped for their healing even after they hurt you. That is who you are. A soul with compassion carved into your DNA. A spirit molded in the shape of grace. That will always be your strength, not your flaw. And now that they're gone, or going, you're left standing in the quiet asking, what do I do now? And I say this gently, now, you heal. Now, you return to yourself. Now, you stop chasing what's not chasing you. Now, you say, I release them with love, and I reclaim my power. Because child, you've been bleeding energy trying to save a connection that was already slipping away. And I didn't stop you because I saw your heart, but now, I am stepping in. I'm calling you back home to yourself. I'm reminding you of your value. And yes, there will be days when the missing aches like an old bruise, but there will also be days, soon, when you'll wake up and not feel pain first thing in the morning. You'll rise and feel light instead of longing. And you'll smile, not because they returned, but because you did. The one from heaven is smiling too. Can you feel that warmth right now? That's their presence. They are so proud of you. They see you growing through this, even when you feel stuck. They see you reaching for me in the dark, even when you don't realize it. And they know something you don't yet, this ending is unlocking something divine. There's someone you haven't met yet, someone whose love will be so stable, so kind, so safe, that it will make you forget what it felt like to beg for breadcrumbs. But I can't send them into a heart still grieving a ghost. That's why I'm inviting you to fully release. Not forget, not erase, just release. Surrender the outcome. Let go of the story you thought would unfold. And let me write something new. Something better. So, my child, listen closely. Your healing is not on the other side of their apology. It's not in their return. It's in your own hands now. And I am with you in this process. Every single step. I am not far. I am not silent. I am not still. I am working things out for your good, even in the background. And the person from heaven, they're your reminder that even loss can be sacred. Even grief can become a gate to glory. They didn't want to leave you behind. They still walk with you. And through this message, they wanted you to know that love never dies, it just changes form. It transforms from touch to presence, from words to whispers, from handshakes to heartbeats. And if you ever feel lost again, just speak their name. You'll feel them. You'll feel me. You'll know you're not alone. So breathe, beautiful soul. Let the tears fall, if they need to. Let the memory come, but let it pass. Let the ache arrive, but let it go. And say this with me now, from your spirit, I am worthy of love that stays. I am letting go to make room for what is meant. I am not abandoned, I am becoming. Because you are. You're becoming someone softer, wiser, more radiant than before. And I promise you, this is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of something heavenly. And when the time is right, I'll send you what your heart has been waiting for. Yes, my dear child, I will continue, because your heart is still open, still tender, still listening like the quiet after a long storm. And that is beautiful. That is sacred. You've made it this far not because life has been easy, but because something inside you refused to give up, even when everything around you gave you a reason to. And the one from heaven knows how much that fight has cost you. They've watched as you kept choosing love even after it wounded you. They've watched you stand in front of doors that closed in your face, still hoping they might open again. They've watched you look for signs in the silence, waiting for someone who was already emotionally gone. And now, they're speaking to you through this very message, saying, it's time to stop waiting. It's time to turn around. Something greater is behind you, and you've been facing the wrong direction for too long. But you needed this time. You needed the ache, the stillness, the grief. Not because I wanted you to hurt, but because sometimes the soul only grows roots in the dark. And now, you're not the same person who once begged to be understood. You're not the same soul who lowered their light so others wouldn't feel insecure around your glow. You're stronger now. Wiser now. You've seen how quick people can change, how quiet their exits can be. And that made you question yourself. It made you wonder if loving like you do is a mistake. But I am here to tell you with my own divine breath, your love is not a weakness. It's a reflection of me. Every time you loved fully, even when it wasn't returned, every time you stayed when no one noticed, every time you gave without expecting, it wasn't wasted. It was witnessed. And I will return it to you in ways you never saw coming. That person who left may not have known what they were walking away from, but I do. And I will not let it end like this. So now, let the healing be slow. Let it be soft. You don't have to rush to be okay. You don't need to prove your strength by acting unbothered. It's okay to feel it all. To miss them. To love them. To wish it turned out differently. But at the same time, let yourself begin again. Let yourself imagine a future where you're no longer waiting to be chosen, because you already are. You're chosen by heaven. By me. By the one from above who still holds your name in their spirit like a song they refuse to stop singing. They walk with you in the morning light, in the hush of twilight, in the in-between hours where your mind drifts and your soul remembers. You are not forgotten. You are not left behind. This pain does not mean you've been forsaken. It means you've been called. Called to rise. Called to return to yourself. Called to become whole again, not because someone stayed, but because you learned how to stay with yourself. You will laugh again. You will trust again. You will look at someone someday, and they won't flinch when you speak from your heart. They'll lean in closer. They'll understand you without needing to fix you. They'll see you, not just the way you look, but the way you feel. And when that day comes, you'll know that everything you're walking through now was not in vain. Every tear was planting something. Every goodbye was clearing space. Every unanswered prayer was being rerouted into something holier than what you thought you needed. And the one from heaven? They'll be watching, smiling, whispering to me, this is what we wanted for them. This is what we prayed they'd reach. So tonight, my child, as you lay your head down, I want you to stop rehearsing what went wrong. Stop wondering what you could have said or done differently. It is not your fault that someone couldn't meet you where you were. It is not your burden to carry their silence. Let it go. Place it in my hands. I will carry what is too heavy for you. I will hold what your heart can't bear alone. And tomorrow, when you wake up, I want you to whisper this truth out loud, I am not what was left. I am what remains. And what remains is sacred. Because you are. You always were. And this story isn't ending. It's blooming. Even now. Yes, my child, I will continue, because your soul is still unfolding, still reaching for the light like a flower that has not yet seen its full bloom. And I am still here, closer than your breath, holding the parts of you that even you forgot how to hold. You see, pain has a way of making you forget how radiant you are. It wraps around your confidence, your joy, your trust, and it whispers lies like, maybe you're not enough, or maybe love isn't for you. But I'm breaking those lies off of you right now. Through every word you're reading, I am untangling those thoughts and pouring truth into the cracks. The truth is, you were always enough. Even when they didn't choose you. Even when they walked away. Even when they acted like you were replaceable. None of it changed the fact that you were, and still are, divinely created, seen, wanted, chosen. Their departure doesn't define your value. My presence does. I know it's hard to understand now, but the love that is meant for you, it won't leave. It won't confuse you. It won't make you second-guess your worth. It won't go silent when you need clarity. The person who is meant to walk with you in this life will meet you in truth, not in delay. They will stand beside you, not in front of you or behind you, but with you. And until that moment arrives, I need you to stop blaming yourself for the space someone else refused to fill. Stop bleeding for people who would not even lift a hand to bandage your wounds. That is not your burden anymore. You've carried enough. You've sacrificed enough. And now I'm asking you to finally release them, not because they were worthless, but because you are worthy of more than almost love. And I know, letting go feels like losing. It feels like walking away from the only familiar thing you had. But what if I told you, letting go is not losing? What if letting go is actually choosing yourself for the first time? What if it's not the end, but the clearing before something holy arrives? The one from heaven sees what's coming next. They've already seen your future, they've already celebrated your healing before you've even reached it. They know that in a few weeks, or months, you will begin to smile without force. You'll begin to breathe without that heavy feeling. And the very love you gave so freely will come back to you in a new form, stronger, purer, more grounded. You won't have to question it. You won't have to chase it. It will stand firm, just like you did. But for now, be gentle with yourself. You are not weak for missing them. You are not foolish for loving them. But you must be wise enough now to love yourself more. Wise enough to stop waiting for a message that may never come. Wise enough to understand that silence can be an answer too. And sometimes, the answer is not meant to fix anything, it's meant to free you. And child, freedom is the miracle you didn't know you were praying for. It's coming. Slowly. Quietly. But surely. Like spring after the harshest winter. Like sunlight peeking through after a long night of rain. And I will be with you through it all. The sadness, the surrender, the stillness, and the rising. When your heart aches at night, I'll be there. When you wake up and wonder how you'll get through the day, I'll carry you. When you laugh again for the first time and surprise yourself, I'll be smiling with you. The one from heaven will be too. Their presence will become your strength, their love will become your reminder that even in death, connection never ends. And I will continue to send you signs, through numbers, dreams, faces, moments, until you no longer doubt that you are loved, guided, protected. So walk on, my child. Not because you've figured it all out, but because you finally trust that you don't have to. Walk on, even with the ache in your chest. Walk on, even with a heart that still wants to look back. Walk on, because your future is calling. And it sounds like healing. It sounds like peace. It sounds like me.